I'm a mother of two, a 15-year-old and a 24-year-old. And we run a family business, a restaurant and a catering business. And I'm very involved with also my daughter's school, so I do a lot of activities with her. I didn't even know what fibroids were, but if you really want to hear the full story, I took my daughter to a doctor's visit, and I mentioned to the doctor, because he had asked her about her cycle, and I kind of cracked a joke on myself, and I said, I'm the one that's going through something, doctor. I might be going through menopause, because that's what women always think when things don't go right with your cycle. And I said, I'm on my 17th day, and it's pretty heavy. And he said, he put me aside, and he says, you need to go and get checked. This is serious. And my energy was gone. I was shot. I couldn't get up out of bed. I was always tired. The doctors did an ultrasound, and they found an enlarged uterus and few fibroids. I believe it was a little more than 5. The first thing he said to me was, you're going to have a hysterectomy. And I started crying because, I'd never had problems in my life. I didn't think anything was wrong with me. I thought I was just going through a menopause. So I didn't know what was wrong with me. So when he said that, I lost it, because how could that be? I not that I'm planning children, but I don't want anything out of my body. That to me is just something I couldn't take. And they don't even say it like with meaning. It's just, it's a hysterectomy. That's the only choice you have. On my way back from dropping off my daughter from school, I heard it on the radio that there was another alternative besides a hysterectomy and to treat the fibroids. So when I heard that there was another alternative, I jumped on that and I called right away. The very first thing I said, doctor, do I have to have a hysterectomy? And he looked at me like, no. So to me, it was a blessing. I couldn't put it together how these other doctors, that was the only thing they told me. Like, okay, well, sorry, we're just going to have to take everything out of you. And that's it. That was the only answer. So when Dr. McLucas looked at me like, no. So, yes, I was really surprised. And the embolization is just a tiny incision in your bikini area, actually. And so you don't even see it. And just the thought of not having to have a hysterectomy, it's like the biggest blessing to me. It was like actually the answers to my prayers, to be honest, because that's what I prayed about. I did. The greatest benefit of having embolization is that the fibroids will no longer come back. And your menstrual cycle actually goes back to normal again. You'll be surprised. The biggest difference that this embolization made my life is that I got my life back. I got my energy back. I got my life back. I'm back on track. That's how I feel. But you have a choice anyway. So for women that don't even think about not caring about having hysterectomy, well, that's for them. But this was for me. Definitely was for me. And I'm glad I had a choice, because I didn't know that I had this choice unless I didn't hear that advertising on the radio.